Hi, welcome to the Freddy AI for CX demo. Today, we'll take a look at how Freddy AI helps in automating customer service within Freshdesk. Here's what you can expect to learn from this demo. We'll be taking a close look at all Freddy AI features, which will include both customer-facing as well as agent-facing AI features. The support scenarios we'll use in this demo will be that of an e-commerce company. Without further ado, let's get started. The first set of features I'd like to introduce you to is the customer-facing AI features. These features help enable zero-contact resolution for your customers. Using this, your customers can find the solutions to their queries without having to interact with an agent. These features help deflect customer queries and engage them without an agent's intervention. Let's take a look at the first feature, Freddy Answers. Freddy Answers provides instant resolutions to your customers without agent intervention. It understands the exact context of a customer's query and responds with to-the-point answers that lead to instant resolutions. Let's take a look at how this works in a real-life scenario. For this scenario, let's assume that I am a customer of an e-commerce company. I'm about to make a purchase, but I have a few questions that I need answered before I do that. To find the answers to these questions, I navigate to the support portal of the company and try to interact with the chatbot. Let's see how that goes. The first question I have is related to the delivery timelines for my particular city. Let's see how the chatbot responds to this question. I select the relevant option, and when prompted to ask my question, I type it out. The chatbot understands my query and responds with an answer that leads to my resolution. The answer in this particular situation is related to the delivery timelines to New York City for the different types of orders I can place on their website. For small and medium appliances, I can expect to wait up to 5 days, whereas for larger appliances, I'd have to wait for about 14 business days. This solves my query. But just for clarity's sake, let's try asking the chatbot the same question in a different manner and see if the chatbot can still give me the same answer. As you can see, the chatbot understands that this question is just a paraphrased version of the first one and still connects me to the most relevant answer, which in this case leads to a resolution. Awesome. Let's say I have another question. Let's start the whole process all over again. At this point, I need to know how I can add a new payment method to my account. I select the payments option. Once again, the chatbot asks me to type out my query. In this situation, the chatbot can match my query to the set of articles on the company's knowledge base and find the most relevant article that could lead to a resolution and displaying it within the chatbot interface. When I click on the article, I can see the most relevant section of the article within the interface itself without requiring me to navigate to a third site or a different URL altogether. This answer resolves my query once again. It has simple instructions on how I can add a new payment method. My questions are answered. Now I can move on to the next step, which brings us to the next feature, the Freddy chatbot. With the Freddy chatbot, support teams can engage customers by creating complex workflows that can guide customers through step-by-step troubleshooting guides. These step-by-step guides can lead customers to resolution. Let's take a look at how this works. Let's go back to the same website. In this situation, let us assume that I've already made an order with the company. At this point, I'm looking to download the invoice for my order. Let's see how the chatbot handles that question. I select the relevant button. The chatbot is able to understand the context of my query. It shows up a list of all orders that have been placed from my account. I select the order for which I require an invoice. The support team knows that this is a common query asked by customers, and to avoid spending a lot of agents' time on resolving these queries, they've created a simple guide within the chatbot using a workflow. I select the invoice option. The chatbot asks me which format I require it in. I'm looking for a PDF right now. The chatbot obliges and gives me a link that I can follow to download the invoice. As you can see, this is an invoice that is very specific to the order I placed. Once again, my query is resolved, which brings us to the next feature, the email bot. The email bot deflects email queries by automatically responding to customers' queries with relevant solution articles. In any given company, about 5 to 10% of the queries received over email are repetitive in nature and low touch, which means they can be resolved with simple answers. The email bot helps in automatically resolving these sets of queries. Let's see how this works. In this scenario, I will act as a customer of the company trying to interact by using email. Email is still the preferred mode of communication for a lot of customers. So in this case, let me try writing an email to the support handle of the company. In this situation, let's assume that my order has been delivered and I'm unhappy with the quality of the product. I'm looking for a cancellation and refund, but I'm unsure about the company policy on the same, which is what I'm looking to get answered. Let's see how this works out. I send an email to the company. In a usual situation, an agent would have to manually view the ticket and respond to it. This could take anywhere between a few hours and even a few days if it's the busy season. With Freddy, the email bot is able to recognize the query and automatically match it to the most relevant solution article that could lead to resolution of my query. Let's see how the email bot responds to my query. As you can see, the email bot has automatically responded to me. It gives me a snippet of the most relevant solution article, which says, in order to be eligible for a refund, I would have to return the product within 60 calendar days of my purchase. It also links to a more detailed article that clarifies my doubt further. Once again, my query is resolved without having to interact with an agent. Perfect. That brings us to the end of the customer-facing AI features. We now move on to the agent-facing AI features of Freddy AI. The agent-facing AI features help enable single-click automation for various customer support processes. Using this, agents can automate the mundane and repetitive support tasks or the busy work that bogs them down. By automating such tasks, they're able to significantly improve their productivity and efficiency in responding to customers. Let's take a look at the different features under agent-facing AI. The first feature is auto triage. Auto triage automatically classifies incoming tickets by predicting ticket field values. It helps avoid manual classification and routing processes that are time intensive and error prone. Auto triage learns from the existing ticket data of your support portal to classify new incoming tickets and predict its ticket field values. Let's take a look at how this works. Let's assume I respond to this email. I see that I can ask for a cancellation within 60 days of placing my order. As a result, I send them a formal request to cancel the order and process a refund. To show you the auto triage feature and the rest of the agent AI features, let's log into the support portal. In this situation, I'm both the customer as well as the agent. The interaction is being logged here. Let's wait for the customer's email to show up in this conversation thread. Here it is. Without an agent AI feature, an agent would have to read this email thread and manually classify the ticket based on the different ticket field properties. With auto triage, however, you can view the two Freddy suggestions here. Freddy has automatically understood what this ticket means and classified it based on its learning from the other tickets in this support portal. It correctly identifies the level of this ticket as an L1 ticket, which is how-tos. It also understands that the type of this ticket is related to refund. All I need to do as an agent is click apply and update this. And these ticket field properties are automatically updated. As an admin of this account, I can also choose to auto apply these features. If I do that, every time a new ticket comes in, auto triage will automatically classify it based on the ticket field values and apply these without requiring an agent to do so manually. This would save a lot of time for agents. In addition, admins can pair these with automation rules. By doing so, not only will auto triage auto apply these suggestions, but these suggestions will be used by the automation rules to route the ticket to the most relevant agents. By doing so, whenever a new ticket comes in, auto triage will automatically classify the ticket as well as route it to the most relevant agent, saving your support team a lot of time and eliminating any errors and bias. Your customers, on the other hand, will receive their responses much faster, resulting in an increase in CSAT scores. Let's move on to our next feature, the Assist bot. The Assist bot is an agent-facing chatbot that helps guide agents through various support scenarios. This leads to faster resolutions. It also helps in training, onboarding, and skilling agents on the job. It guides agents through various common situations and helps them adhere to processes and support responses. This helps in standardizing the support responses across your team and elevating the customer experience. Let's see how this works with respects to this ticket. In this situation, the customer has asked the agent to process the cancellation and refund of an order. As an agent, I do not know whether this order is eligible for refund yet. I would have to look up this particular order in the order management system and see the date of order. Let's assume there's also been a recent change in policy related to the refund policy. I would also have to look up the refund policy of the company, match the timelines with the order date that is shown in the order management system, and do some mental math to figure out whether the order is eligible for cancellation. That seems like a lot of hassle. With the Assist bot, I can simply interact with an agent-facing bot. Let's see how this works. I choose the Agent Assist bot and I simply select the refund eligibility option. This workflow will guide me through finding out whether this order is eligible for a refund. I need to enter the customer ID to proceed. Once I do that, I need to select the relevant order from the list of active orders. In this situation, the order ID ending in 301. The chatbot automatically looks up the order details in the relevant portal and matches it against the updated refund policy. I can see that the order was placed on the 15th of August and successfully delivered on the 25th of August. This makes it eligible for refund before the 15th of October. Great. That saves me a lot of time and hassle. This is how the Assist bot works. This brings us to the next feature, the article suggester and canned response suggester features. Both these features suggest responses to agents while they reply to customers. This helps eliminate a lot of back and forth between agents to find out the right response to give to the customers. Agents also eliminate the time and effort required in researching answers on the web, on company documents, and other portals. Let's see how this helps agents in responding faster. In this particular situation, I've already determined that this order is eligible for a cancellation and refund request. The customer has asked me when they can expect the refund, and I need to respond to them with the appropriate response. As you can see, Freddy recommends one solution article and two canned responses for me to reply with. Let's take a look at each of them. When I click on the solution articles, it shows me the refund policy article, which states the policies of the company. We've already shared this with the customer over the email bot. So let's take a look at the canned responses. Freddy recommends two particular responses here. The first one is related to a situation where the order cannot be refunded because it is beyond the return deadline. The other one says that your order is eligible for refund. Let's see what it says. I glance through it quickly and I see that this is the canned response that would be most relevant because it says that your order is eligible for cancellation or refund, lists out the next steps for the customer to return the product, and explains the timeline for the refund to be processed and reflected in the customer's account. I can either insert the canned response or simply replace it with whatever text is already written here. In this case, let me replace it with the response, add my name at the end, and hit send. As you can see, within a few clicks, I was able to respond to the customer in a thorough manner, saving me a lot of time. Which brings us now to the next feature, the Robo Assist feature. Robo Assist helps in automating and executing complex backend processes with a single click. These are processes that are time intensive and usually require agents to switch between multiple backend systems to process. With the Robo Assist, each such lengthy process can be mapped to a workflow, and each workflow can be executed with just a single click, saving the agents a lot of time. Let's see how this can be applied in this particular situation. Now that I've responded to the customer detailing the steps for the return of the product, let's assume that it has been returned and received by us. Let's reply from the customer's end. Let's assume that the product has been received. At this point, I need to proceed as an agent with the cancellation and the refund process. Without Freddy, here is what this process would look like. I would open up the order management system. I would look up the order details and, and manually process a cancellation request. I would then calculate a refund amount, update a few logs on the order management system, log into the billing portal, enter the refund amount, update another set of logs, and then process the refund amount. I would then come back to this portal, type out a response manually to the customer, and hit send. All of this would take me about 3 to 5 minutes. With RoboAssist, let's see how long it takes. All I do is click on the RoboAssist button. As you can see, this entire process has been mapped to a very particular workflow. I click on the order cancellation and refund button. This is where I need to enter a few basic details. I enter the order ID, the cancellation reason, and yes, I would like to process a refund. I click on execute, and the entire process is automated in the background by using robotic process automation or RPA. The process has been initiated successfully, and I can see the status of the process here. We will wait for the process to be completed to see how the end result would look like. At this point, as an agent, I can move on to other tickets and start working on them without having to bother with this. But for the sake of the demo, let's wait for the process to get executed completely. As you can see, within a few seconds, the process has been completed. To see the latest response in the thread, I just need to refresh it. As you can see, I've automatically responded to the customer by mentioning that the order has been cancelled and the refund amount of $782 have been processed, and which should reflect in the customer's account in 3 to 5 working days. That's it. What would take me about 5 minutes of time took me less than 10 seconds. This is how the RoboAssist feature works. Let's move on to the next feature, the thank you detector. The thank you detector identifies responses by customers like thank you and ensures that they do not reopen closed tickets and mess up the SLAs. As an agent, it can be very frustrating if you close a ticket within the predetermined SLA time period, only to have it reopened by a thank you response from the customer. Let's see how the thank you detector can help avoid that. Let's switch back to the customer's point of view. As a customer, I log in to see that my order has been cancelled and the refund amount has been processed. I'm happy with the support offered. For a moment, let's switch back to the agent's view. And since this ticket has been resolved, let's mark it as resolved and update the ticket. Switching back to the customer's view. As I was saying, as a customer, I'm happy with the support offered. And I reply to this with a small thank you note. Usually, a response like this would cause the ticket status to move from resolved to open, causing the SLA values to get messed up. Let's wait for this response to show up in this thread. As you can see, the customer's thank you response is recorded in the thread. However, the status has stayed as resolved and not moved to open. The thank you detector can also detect a response where the customer has thanked the agent but asked a follow-up question. In such a case, the status would be moved from resolved to open, as it should be. Let's test that functionality out as well. Let's assume, as a customer, I send a follow-up on the thread. I send this email. If the thank you detector detects this as a thank you note and leaves the status is resolved, that would be a problem for the agent. However, the thank you detector has enough context to understand the difference between a thank you note and a follow-up question. Let's see how it treats this follow-up question from the customer. As you can see, a new response has been recorded here, and the status of the ticket has been moved from resolved to being open. Great. That brings us to the end of the agent-facing AI features. We now move on to the reports and insights section of Freddy AI. This is where we talk about Freddy Analytics. Freddy Analytics helps in tracking and optimizing the performance of your customer service automation with Freddy. You can track how well your different features are performing and also understand the insights on how you can improve the metrics related to customer service automation. Let's see how it looks within the product. As an admin, I click on Freddy Reporting. I can see various reports configured for the different Freddy AI features. Let's start with Robo Assist. For a defined date range, I can see various metrics related to Robo Assist. I can see the number of successful executions, completed executions, and time saved in minutes in total. I can also see execution volumes by trend and execution rates as well. If I move on to the other features, let's say auto triage, let's see the different metrics I can see there. Once again, I can see numbers related to the feature, such as the total number of predicted tickets, the accuracy of the predictions, and the number of categories the predictions were made in. I can see the different metrics related to the categories that were predicted by auto triage. Most of the tickets were predicted to be an L1 type of ticket. I can also see a list of the latest tickets that were predicted over the last 5 days. I also have access to a list of tickets where agents change the predictions made by auto triage. I can use this data to improve the predictions of auto triage to ensure that this number goes down. I can see similar metrics for the canned response suggester and the answer bot as well. That brings us to the end of the demo today. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to reach out to us for any queries. Thanks.